Welcome to Paper Networks, and your tutor is Engineer Umanyang. In this session, I'll show you how to install a software in Linux. The software we will install is a text editor, and the text editor we will install is Sublime Text. So first we have to understand that what is a text editor. A text editor is simply a tool that is designed to edit a text. And there is some difference between a text editor and an IDE because they can do more or less the same thing. But an IDE, which stands for an integrated development environment, is a software application that provides comprehensive facilities to computer programmers for software development. And an IDE normally consists of at least a source code editor, a built automation tools, and a debugger. While a text editor is just a simple tool for design to edit a text, and any system, whether it's a Linux system, a Windows system, or a Mac system, it has a text editor, a simple text editor. It comes with a very simple text editor, and an IDE is intended to set of tools that all work together, and an IDE contains the text editor inside it. It has a compiler and a build and a debugger for debugging. So example of text editors we have the common ones, though we have so many text editors out there. We have Sublime Text, we have Bluefish, Visual Studio Code, Vim, Notepad plus brackets Atom. And examples of common IDEs, we have NetBean, which is common with Java, Eclipse, PyCharm Community, which is common with Python language, and WebStorm. So these are just examples of text editors, just samples that we have, and there are so many both for Linux system, both for Windows system, and also the Mac system. Some a text editor like Sublime Text, we have it for Windows, we have it for Linux and for Mac. Bluefish, we have it for Windows, we have it for Linux and for Mac. Visual Studio, it applies both to Windows, Linux, and Mac, and many others. So I'll show you how to install the Sublime Text editor in Linux. I'm using a Linux system, and there are 3 ways in which you can install a software in a Linux system. The first way you can install a software in a Linux system is by using Software Manager. When you come to Software Manager, Software Manager is an inbuilt application inside the Linux system that will help you to install any software easily without writing a command. And in here you can see we have a Software Manager. So whatever you do, you will come here and type the name of the software we want to install. So in my case, before I install Sublime Text, I already have Sublime Text installed, and whatever I will do, I will come here and uninstall this Sublime Text I have. So I'll go to programming and uninstall this Sublime Text I have. I'll be prompted for a root password, and I'll enter my root password for it to be uninstalled. So I'll be prompted to confirm if I want to remove that package, and it's removing the package, and it has removed that Sublime Text package. So when I go back to programming, I only have NetBeans and Bluefish editor. So I want to install this Sublime Text with you, and I say there are 3 ways you can install. The first one is using a Software Manager, which you can come here and search for Sublime Text. Let me just search Sublime, and it will search for Sublime Text. So you can see Sublime Text, and Sublime Merge. So you can choose the one you want to use, and when you open, it will prompt me to remove. It senses that I still have it, so I'll remove. So it says the package is not installed. Close. So it prompts me to install. So if I want to install it, I'll just press on install, and it will install the software and any other software that I might need to install in Software Manager. Another way you can get the software in Software Manager is by going to categories, and you select on the category of the software you want to install. And I want to install a software that is under programming. So when I go to programming, then I can search for the software I need under programming. So it can be a software for Java, under Java, PHP, Python, and Essentials. You can get any software you need from here. The second way you can install Sublime Text and any other software that you might need in Linux is you are using Terminal. Whenever you want to open Terminal, you press on Ctrl-Alt-T to open Terminal. And before installing any software in Terminal, or before writing any command in Terminal we use commands to install software or to do any function. So you must know that command and whatever it does for it to be executed, and you must write the right command. So in Terminal, I'll show you how to install the Sublime Text in Terminal. I'll go to Sublime Text website. So the Sublime Text website is sublimetext.com, and you see I'll go to Sublime Text home. So this is the Sublime Text home. I'll go to downloads, and you can see those systems that are supported by Sublime Text. So Sublime Text supports OS X, that's version 10.7 and later is required. Windows, portable version is also available. We have Windows 64-bit and a portable version. Linux repos, 64-bit and 32-bit tarball. The tarball are those that has the .tar extension. So .tar extension, whatever it does, you have to make that, you have to extract that software. It's like a zip file, though it's not a zip file. Yeah, if you know a zip file, you have to extract it. Same to a tarball, it has the tar extension, so you have to extract it. You extract it and make it a program that can run. And making it run using the Software Manager, the Manager run, every time you start your machine, you'll have to run that software. And an example of a software that runs each and every time that you start your machine, it does not boot up with the system, but whenever your system, after your system has booted, you have to start it itself. And an example I can show you we have is the Linux. We have is the XAMPP, which is a server, XAMPP, which is a local server, and you have to start it each and every time you start the software. And so when I go back to Linux Sublime Text and show you how to install it using a command. So I'll go to Linux repos. So Linux repos, I want to install an apt or Ubuntu Debian, and it will direct me here, and I'll copy this command. So the command is sudo apt-get update. Before you install any software in the terminal, you have to run an update using the command sudo apt-get update or sudo apt-get sudo apt-update, either in any Linux system or any Debian system, or just in layman language you can say any Ubuntu system. So you have to run an update, then you will have to run a command to install the specific software. So it's recommended you copy this from here, then you paste it in your terminal. So I'll copy this code. I'll not run an update now. I'll copy this code, it will take some time, and paste it on my terminal. To paste a command in terminal, the normal paste does not work. Control C does not work, so you have to press on Control Shift V to paste. Control Shift V to paste in terminal, and the normal paste we know is Control V. So when I run, I press on Enter, it will prompt me for a sudo password, just the way I said that sudo installs a software as a root user. So I'll enter my root password, then it will install this Sublime Text. It will unpack all files and install Sublime Text. So it has finished installing Sublime Text, and when I go back to my menu, let me close it, and let me close this, let me close that, and when I go back to my menu and go under programming, I'll get my Sublime Text installed. When I open, it will open my files. So those are two ways you can install Sublime Text, and the third way does not apply for it. The third way you can install a software but not for Sublime Text is by downloading a Debian package. So Debian package, you can also download it from your browser and from the software's website. So Sublime Text doesn't have a Debian package, it has a tarball package, and I explained how you install how you use a tarball. So what you will do, what we will do is I'll show you with using Google Chrome on how to install a Debian package. A Debian package, whatever it does, it has the .deb extension, just like Windows software has the .exe extension. So the Debian packages have .deb extension, meaning they are meant for Debian systems, and Linux Mint is a Debian system. That's my system I'm using now. So when I go to download Chrome, you can see I already have Chrome installed, so I won't install it. You can see here that we have a 64-bit Debian system for Ubuntu and the RPM for the Fedora systems. So softwares that has this Debian package, you can download the Debian package and install it just normally by double clicking on that software. After downloading, it will automatically install and download. It will prompt you for the root password, then install the software for it to be installed in the root folder. So that's how you can install Sublime Text, and now we have our Sublime Text installed. So let me show you how to install the same software using the software manager. I didn't install it using the manager, the software manager. I used the command from terminal. So I'll uninstall it, and it prompts for my root password. So I'll give my root password, and I will check on that. Removing packages, and that's how you also remove any software from your machine. So when I go to programming, I don't have it. So I go to my software manager and I click on Sublime and install. I'm prompted for a sudo password, and I'll enter my sudo password. I entered the wrong password. Hooray, our software is now installed. So it's prompting me to remove if I want to install it. So when you want to uninstall the same software, you can remove it from here, or you can remove it from the applications list here, or you can use the same terminal to uninstall the software. And that's how we install Sublime Text and any other text editor that you might need, that you will search from software manager. I say that software manager has a lot of softwares here that you can install, both text editors, IDEs, the programming languages themselves. You can get them from here and you can install them in your system. Thank you for watching, and before I forget, it's recommended that when you want to install any software in Linux Mint, you first search for the software in its website so that you can get an updated package or an updated version of that software. So first search in the website, in the software's website, to get the updated package, because they keep on updating these softwares. So if they direct you, if you are directed to use a command to install your software, then you will use that command in your terminal to download. You will use the same command in your terminal to install that software. Thank you for watching. Engineer Umanyang. Let's meet next time.